Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 20th of October 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs. So watch this video till last. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with your email ID, then click on this crack current affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. But both the subscription prices are very much low. But we are covering the most important current affair which is very important for every type of exam. This is the hard work of Affairs Cloud team. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily section, you will see three things. One is the detailed current affair, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, we are providing three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section. But you have to attempt this quiz on weekly basis. Next, most important section is the monthly, and we are providing four type of PDFs. One is the detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the top 100 current affair that is provided in the form of question and answer and the pocket PDF. It means the 2-liner and the 3-liners current affair will be provided to you so that you can revise these current affairs in quick format before your exam. But to enhance your performance further, we are providing 20 most important topic-wise PDF. If you want to revise one particular topic, then you can pick this topic-wise PDF. If you are a banking student, we are providing three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section. And all these three things are only related to banking and economy. But you can attempt this quiz on our application on monthly basis. If you want to cover the all past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are providing detailed budget and economic survey. Also expected question and answer will be provided to you so that you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. If you are appearing for your respective state exam, we are also providing state current affairs and we are covering every state and union territories. So all these things comes under only one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID, then click on this crack current affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low, but if you're a new student, you're just starting your preparation, then you can subscribe for 2 years because 2021 is now ending, and if you buy in 2022 for 2022, then the cost will be much higher, so you can subscribe now. And we are providing 10% discount on both subscriptions if you use this code ASH10. And if you have any query, you can email us or you can call us on this number or email ID. So let's start today's current affair, that is 20th of October 2021. But I am requesting you all the students who are watching this video, please like this video, please share this video as maximum as possible, at least to your one friend, and please subscribe this channel. Please subscribe now, and after that you have to see the question and join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the first question in the most important section. Who won 2021 Men's BNP Paribas Open 2021? So you have to just remember this tournament is basically related to tennis. So that's why this is very important. And this is won by in the men's category, it is Cameron Norrie. So answer of this question is D, and this player belongs to Britain. So you have to remember. So British tennis player Cameron Norrie won the first ever ATP Master 1000 by winning the men's single title in this tournament. So you can see here Cameron Norrie won the Indian Wells Master 1000 title. So this tournament, which is also known as BNP tournament, it is also known as Indian Wells tournament. You can also see here BNP Paribas Open, also known as 2021 Indian Wells Masters or 2021 Indian Wells Open. So all the things are same. So you have to just remember BNP Paribas Open and Indian Wells and the Indian Wells Open, all are the same things. And it marks the 47th edition of this men's BNP Paribas Open or ATP Masters. But you have to remember one thing, in the men's category it is Cameron Norrie, but in the women's category it is Paula Badosa, and she belongs to Spain. So Paula Badosa of Spain won 2021 Women's Single Championship at the 2021 BNP Paribas Open or Indian Wells Master. So you have to just remember the name of the players, nothing else. So that's why this question is the most important. Moving to next question. Reliance Industries Limited or RIL placed at which position in the overall ranking of the Forbes World's Best Employees Ranking 2021? The main keyword here is the World's Best Employers Ranking 2021, and this is the list released by Forbes. That's why this is important. And if we're talking about Reliance Industries, then overall Reliance Industries rank is 52nd. Answer of this question is C. But if we're talking about only India, then it is on the top basically. And remember, in addition of this Reliance Industries, the other Indian companies under top 100 rankings include ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank was ranked on the 65th, so you have to remember, because very important. And second rank goes to ICICI. We are talking about top 100. And the second basically HDFC on the 77th position, and third is on the 90th position, which is HCL Technologies. HCL Technologies. So 4 companies out of 100 on the global level belongs to India, and the top company is Reliance Industries Limited. And the rankings were compiled after surveying 1,50,000 full-time and the part-time workers from 58 countries working for multinational companies and the institutions. And Reliance, which is India's biggest company by revenue, you can say by revenue, by profit and market capitalization, was recently recognized as India's best employers among Nation Builders 2021 by the Great Place to Work Institute. So this is again very important institute, and according to this institute, Reliance Industries is India's best employers among Nation Builders 2021. So 2 rankings you have to remember, but Forbes is most important. World's Best Employers ranking 2021. From Indian side, it is Reliance Industries, rank is 52nd. But if we are talking about overall, then Samsung is on the top. So you can see here, Samsung Electronics is on the first position, belongs to South Korea. IBM International Business Machine belongs to USA, is on the second position. Microsoft again USA, and it is on the third position. And Reliance Industries is on the 52nd. It means from Indian side, it is on the first side. So remember this. Moving to next question. All the most important questions we covered. Now we are moving to very important question section, but you have to like this video. Now you have to like, and please subscribe this channel and at least to your one friend, and subscribe this channel now. Join our Telegram group from the description box link and subscribe at least to your one friend. Please share this video at least to your one friend. Next, what is the name of this mission, which is NASA's first expedition to the Trojan asteroids of the Jupiter? So we are talking about mission, or you can say what is the name of the spacecraft. Both are same things. So NASA launched a 12-year mission, or you can say 12-year mission with a spacecraft of Lucy. So answer of this question is A. And it is the first expedition of the Trojan asteroids of the Jupiter to study the evolution of solar system and the formation of the giant planets. So you can see here, NASA launched Lucy spacecraft and the first space mission to study Trojan's asteroid. Now the keyword here is the Trojan asteroid. What is the meaning of this Trojan asteroid? So you have to remember, these Trojans are like a small celestial bodies that are leftovers from the early days of the solar system, and it shares the orbit of a large planet or a large moons. And Lucy will be study geology, composition, density, and the structure of each of its Trojan targets. And during this mission, Lucy will spend 6 years cruising through the solar system, and it would come back to the Earth 3 times to take assistance from the planet's gravitational field to build up enough momentum to reach Jupiter. So this is very important. And after Lucy, NASA will launch DART mission. This is again very important. What is the meaning of DART? Double Asteroid Redirection Test. Double Asteroid Redirection Test. And after Lucy, the next mission of NASA will be DART, which was scheduled to be launched on the 23rd of November 2021. It means next month it will be launched. And it is to prevent a hazardous near-Earth binary asteroid Didymos during striking Earth. So the name of the asteroid is Didymos, and it is just to prevent the striking of Didymos for Earth. Next mission after that is Psyche mission. So this is again a very good name, Psyche mission. NASA also set to launch another mission named as Psyche to study the Psyche asteroid that orbits the Sun in the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. So examiner can ask that Psyche asteroid lies in between which planets? So answer of this question is Mars and Jupiter. And Psyche asteroid is just 280 km wide, and it is largely made of the metals. So that's why this mission is again very important for the NASA. So remember, Lucy mission and DART mission and the Psyche mission. These are recently basically explained by the NASA. So that's why we are explaining it. So you can also see here, now we are moving to the next question. You can also see here, first expedition of the Trojan asteroid of the Jupiter to study the evolution of the solar system and the formation of the giant planets, and the mission will be covered on the powered by solar energy. So this is a renewable energy mission, and it will run for the 12 years, during which it will visit 8 asteroids covering a distance of about 6.3 billion kilometer. So this is a huge thing which will be covered by this Lucy spacecraft. Next question, which country hosted like-minded developing countries ministerials meeting? So the most important here, the like-minded developing countries. I think many of students listening this organization first time, but remember this like-minded developing countries is a combination of 25 developing countries from Asia and the other regions. And this is related to environment. So you have to remember the main concern of this meeting, or the main topic of this meeting, is preparation of COP26 on climate change expectations and challenges. So if you are talking about COP26, it means I am talking about United Nations Climate Change Conference, which is scheduled to be held on 31st of October. It is also known as COP26, and the exact place is Glasgow. Scotland, United Kingdom. So remember, the virtual like-minded developing countries ministerial meeting hosted by Bolivia. So answer of this question is D. And the meeting was convened to gather perspectives on the way forward to the United Nations Framework Convention on the Climate Change, which is COP26, and it is scheduled to be held in Glasgow, United Kingdom from 31st of October to 12th of November. So you have to remember the most important thing here is where will be COP26 hosted. So this is important. So you can see here, if we are talking about the environment, then Union Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, it is Bhupendra Yadav, who attended and who represented Indian side under the like-minded developing countries. And remember, it is a group of 25 developing countries from the Asia and the other regions. Now we are moving to the next question. Which company started automated fueling system which is known as UFill? Very important question. UFill. This is the automated fueling system, and it is launched by Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. So BPCL has launched an automated fueling technology which is known as UFill to ensure that its customer have a better experience at outlets. And UFill technology can be described as swift, secure and smart. Swift, secure and smart, which will be launched in 65 cities across the country. After some time, it will be launched on pan-India basis. And UFill is a digital customer experience as promised by the Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited to have complete control over time, technology and transparency for the automated fueling. And the technology, you can say, obviates the customer need to look at the zero or the final reading and such manual interventions. And this offer a touchless prepayment solution. Before you can say leaving the home, you can prepayment, and also avoids the manual interventions at the point of sale, with the dispensing unit automatically preset for the paid value. And this entails transparency by redirecting the unused amount to be respected customer's bank account when not used for 48 hours, or if only partial amount is used for fueling. Suppose you did prepayment of 5,000 rupees, but when you arrived on the you can say BPCL outlet, then you just used 1,000 rupees. Then 4,000 will be again transferred to your account. It means refunded to your account. So this is a new type of system, and this is UFill system. It will definitely save your time. And BPCL headquarters is in Mumbai, and the chairman and managing director is Arun Kumar Singh. Remember this. So you can see here, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited unveiled automated fueling system. It is UFill, and there is application which is also known as UFill. And before you can say leaving your home, you can just prepay. You can do prepayment, and you can fill your petrol, or you can fill your diesel at the outlets of the BPCL. Currently, it is launched in the 65 cities, but it will be launched in the pan-India basis. Next is, what is the rank of India in the Mercer's Global Pension Index? Again, we are talking about index, and this is the Global Pension Index, and India's rank is 40th because it is out of 43 countries. So answer of this question is 40th. All the options you can eliminate. So Mercer's Consulting, a leading global management consulting firm, has released the 13th edition of this Global Pension Index, and with an overall index value of 43. This is the value 43.3. Indian pension system ranked 40th out of 43 systems on the overall index ranking. This is poor ranking of India. And according to the 2021, this Mercer's Global Pension Index, India needs strategic reforms to revamp the Indian pension system to ensure adequate retirement income. And this index is an annual survey by the Mercer Consulting, which aims to benchmark the retire income system. And this index uses three sub indices like adequacy, sustainability, and integrity to measure each retirement income system against more than 50 indicators. So the country who is providing best retirement income plans, that is on the first position, and you can also see here India's rank is 40th, but the first position basically goes to Iceland. It means they are providing best retirement income plans. And the worst position is Thailand, and India is also on the worst stand, like India is on the 40th position. So you have to remember, first rank goes to Iceland, and 40th rank is India's, and lowest is Thailand. Again, very important. Next question is, who won Julius Baer Challengers Chess Tour 2021? Just simple question, just you can remember this question as same as in slide. Answer of this question is our Grandmaster R. Pragnanda, who won this title. So the event was launched by Play Magnus Group in April 2021. This was launched in April 2021 by Magnus Group, and it is to give young chess stars a springboard to stardom during the pandemic. So 24 talents from around representing 13 countries have participated in the chess tour, but this tournament or this challenge was won by R. Pragnanda, who is you can say 16-year-old boy, and Indian Grandmaster also. So you can also remember, and you can also see here the picture. So this player, 16-year-old player, won this Challengers Chess Tournament. So remember, again we are moving to next question. Dwara e-Dairy Solutions have entered into a collaboration with which small finance bank to service small dairy farmers? So first of all, you have to record the keywords here. Dwara e-Dairy Solution, very famous agriculture financial technological firm, and second is small finance bank. So it means they will provide some loans, some credit to the small dairy farmers, and this will be provided by Dwara e-Dairy Solutions, but with the help of Jan Small Finance Bank. So answer of this question is A. So through Jan Small Finance Bank extensive branch network in the rural areas or the agriculture regions across India, Dwara e-Dairy intends to expand the credit and underwriting process for the cattle loans. So Dwara will provide cattle loans to the small dairy farmers, but with the help of the Jan Small Finance Bank or with the customer base of the Jan Small Finance Bank. And the Dwara e-Dairy digital identity, which is known as Surbi. We already discussed this question like 2 or 3 months back, e-tag, when they started this. Surbi e-tag basically started by Dwara e-Dairy digital identity system, and it will provide accurate cattle identification based on the muzzle identity. So after that, they will provide you cattle loans, and this will help dairy farmers to improve their livelihood and achieve household financial goals. So very simple question, Dwara e-Dairy will provide loans through the extensive branch network of the Jan Small Finance Bank. It means customers will be provided by Jan Small Finance Bank, but loans will be provided by Dwara e-Dairy Solution. And they are providing loan through the cattle identification based on the Surbi e-tag, or you can say based on the muzzle identity. But you can also remember Jan Small Finance Bank. It was established in the year of 2008, and its CEO and managing director is Ajay Kanwal. And its headquarters is in Bengaluru. Dwara e-Dairy Solution is not important for you, but it was also established in 2008, and Dwara e-Technology Solution or e-Dairy Solutions headquarters is in Chennai in Tamil Nadu, and its founder is Ravi K.A. You can just remember the name is Ravi K. if you want, otherwise it is not important. You can see here Dwara e-Dairy Jan Small Finance Bank tied up with the targets dairy farmers. Next is India and which country hold first time maritime dialogue? It means the inaugural maritime dialogue. So this is related to the navies of the both countries, and also the security and the safety of Indo-Pacific and the regional and the multilateral cooperation. So this country is United Kingdom. So answer of this question is B. So India and the United Kingdom held virtual maritime dialogue associated with the cooperation towards the maritime domain, Indo-Pacific region, and the regional and the multilateral cooperation. And the dialogue held as the two countries agreed to the roadmap of 2030. In a virtual roadmap held in the May 2021. And the two foreign ministers affirmed their vision on a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. So we want to basically, you can say, tackle the China dominance in the Indo-Pacific region. That's why we are tying up with so many countries. Like Quad Group is also working to reduce the dominance of the China in the Indo-Pacific region. And lawful commerce and peaceful resolution of the disputes without any restrictions will be followed. And the discussions also encourage the rule of law, transparency and freedom of navigation and overflight in the international waters. And it also added territorial integrity and sovereignty. So by default, in simple word, you can say both countries will work on the friendly relationship, especially in the waters, so that they can trade freely and with minimum restrictions, and the, you can say, bilateral relations can also be improved. So you can see here Narendra Modi and Boris Johnson, and this is the virtual meeting, but it is the first maritime dialogue between India and United Kingdom. This thing is important. Next is, who wrote a book titled The Stars in My Sky. So again, very important book. The first book by this person was Me and Ma. Me and Ma, and this was written in the year of 2017. So it means this is the second book, and it is written by Divya Datta, very versatile actor Divya Datta. So Bollywood actress Divya Datta is set to release her second book titled The Stars in My Sky, Those Who Brightened My Film Journey, in October 2021. And her first book was Me and Ma, which was released in 2017. And the book is about Divya Datta's experience with renowned Bollywood personalities who played a significant role in her life. So that's why the name is The Stars in My Sky. So stars means the Bollywood superstars, and how these Bollywood superstars or the personalities played a significant role in her life. And these major personalities are like Amitabh Bachchan ji, Devanand ji, very versatile actor, Devanand ji, and Dilip Kumar ji, Shabana Azmi ji, Nasiruddin Shah ji, Yash Chopra ji. So these are the versatile personalities who played a significant role in her life. So she mentioned these personalities, and you can see very beautiful cover page, and you can see here Divya Datta and The Stars in My Sky, and this book is forwarded by Amitabh Bachchan. So that's why this is very, very important. So you have to remember. Moving to next question. Which company acquired Geospoke? So just remember this question from the slide. Geospoke to provide next generation mobility and location tracking services. And this company is Pune based company, and this is a geospatial service provider company which is known as Geospoke, and this is overtaken by, you can say, acquired by Ola. And under this acquisition, Ola is planning to provide real-time mapping convenient for the vehicle movements using advanced technologies like you can say 3D technology, HD technology, and the vector maps. So this is important. And Ola is planning to build maps with the use of satellite imaging and understanding its massive consumer movements. So that's why this company acquires this Geospoke, and it is a Pune-based organization. Just remember the question as same as in slide. Next, new species of onion discovered in India, and it is Allium negianum. So an onion species discovered from which state? It discovered from Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand has been confirmed as a new species of Allium. So you have to just remember. And the new species is named Allium neginum. Why it is named as Negi? Because it is just to honor the late Dr. Kuldeep Singh Negi. Dr. Kuldeep Singh Negi, an eminent explorer and you can say allium collector from India. So this is very important. So remember, it is founded in Uttarakhand. This state is important, and this Allium neginum is a species of, or you can say it is a one of the species of onion. Next, we are moving to important question. You have to like this video. You have to share this video as maximum as possible, at least to your one friend. And please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Who launched Geospatial Energy Map of India? Very important. Geospatial Energy Map of India, but we are covering under the important section because the question asked by the examiner will be very simple. So remember, if you are a student of UPSC, then you can just go through every point, but if you are a student of banking or you are a student of SSC or other state exam, then you don't have to need to focus on so much. So it is the Geospatial Energy Map of India. It is launched by Niti Aayog with the help of Indian Space Research Organization. So this map will provide a holistic picture of all energy resources of the country, all energy resources, because this map identifies and locates all the primary as well as secondary resources of energy and their transportation. So it will help in providing a holistic picture of all energy resources of the country with the visualization of energy installation, including, you can say, power plants, oil and gas wells, petroleum refineries, coal fields, coal blocks, district-wise data of the renewable energy power plant, and so on. So it will definitely help for the resource planning, and we can use the better to better technology for the resource planning, and we can use the energy at very limited value. So you have to just remember it is launched by Niti Aayog and by the ISRO. So very important. So you can see here Dr. Rajiv Kumar here, and he is currently the deputy or the vice chairman of the Niti Aayog. CEO is Amitabh Kant, chairman is Prime Minister of India, or Narendra Modi ji. Next is NABARD subsidiary, or you can say National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development subsidiary, signs trust deed for Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Farmers Producer Organization. In simple words, you can say that NABARD's subsidiary, which is known as NAB Sanrakshan. NAB Sanrakshan. So NAB Sanrakshan, which is a subsidiary of NABARD, signed a trust deed for Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for the Farmers Producer Organization. You can also write this type like CGFT FPO. So this is Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Farmers Producer Organization. So what is the amount of this fund? This led to set up of a dedicated credit guarantee fund for 1,000 crore rupees for how many farmer producer organization? For 10,000 farmers producer organization. And this is the only second such trust formed in the agriculture and allied sector for providing credit guarantee. So remember this is very important. So this is NAB Sanrakshan, very important for the banking student, otherwise you can skip this question. Next, we are moving to the one-liner important points, and here is the first point. BPCL unveils automated fueling system UFill. We already covered this question. Global transport sector needs almost $50 trillion investment by 2040 to reduce the greenhouse gases. And this is a report of one of the organization of United Nations Office for Project Services. And there is a dire need of cleaning up the transport sector to reduce greenhouse gases emission and contain global warming. And according to this organization, we have to spend almost $50 trillion by the year of 2040 to reduce the greenhouse gases and from the environment, especially in the transportation sector, so that we can use the electric and the hydrogen fuel vehicles. Next, IMF reduced India's potential GDP. So there is a new keyword, potential GDP, forecast by the 25 basis point to 6%. So earlier they predicted this potential GDP forecast to 6.25%. But due to COVID-19 restrictions on the investments and the labor market, they predicted potential GDP forecast to 6%. Just remember, but the main keyword here is the potential. What is potential GDP? So potential growth is the rate of growth that an economy can sustain over the medium term without generating excess inflation. So if we are going towards growth, then inflation is automatically rising. So this is the concern all over world, because if we are sacrificing inflation, then we can do growth, because when we are talking about growth, it means our purchasing power parity is rising. If our purchasing power parity is rising, it means demand will rise. If demand will rise, it means prices will rise. So by default, if our purchasing power parity is rising, it means we are growing. But the price is also rising, it means inflation is also there. So if we are focusing on growth, it means we have to sacrifice the inflation, but inflation will rise. But now we are talking about potential GDP. So it means we are doing growth, but without generating excess inflation. So this is the potential GDP. So this should be 6% according to the International Monetary Fund. So remember this keyword. Next, working group constituted for the overhaul Prime Minister Fasal Bima Yojana, headed by Ritesh Chauhan. So the central government has constituted a working group to be headed by Chief Executive Officer of Prime Minister Fasal Bima Yojana, currently Ritesh Chauhan, to roll out an overhauled Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana from Kharif 2022. The group will submit its report in the 6 months. But why there is a need for this group? Because the key reason for this group formation is to quitting this scheme by the many states due to the share of premium. Because now under this scheme, for the Rabi crops, farmers have to pay 1.5%. For the Kharif crop, farmers have to pay 2%. And for the cash crops, farmers have to pay 5%. But rest of the balance, or you can say rest of the premium or the balance premium, is split equally between the center and state. equally between the center and state. But many states have demanded their share of the premium subsidy to be capped at 30% and 70% should be paid by the center government. But some other demand of the center, some of the other states are demanding that center have to bear the entire subsidy. It means 100% should be centrally sponsored. So this is the concern. That's why some states are quitting this scheme, and this is a concern for the center government. That's why they are basically constituted this working group under the chairmanship of the Ritesh Chauhan. Next, Indian Grandmaster Pragnanda, we already covered this question. Next is Sise Lema. So you have to remember Sise Lema from Ethiopia won this 2021 London Marathon in the male category, but in the female category it is a Joy Klein wins in the women's title in the London Marathon. Just remember the name, otherwise you don't have to remember this question. And the London Marathon is annually conducted in the London, United Kingdom since its inaugural event in 1981. So this year it is won by Sise Lema and Joycelyn Jep Kosgei. And you can remember she belongs to Kenya. She belongs to Kenya and the Sise belongs to Ethiopia. Moving to next question, it is the question of the day. What was the question of 19th of October 2021? Which of the following is the most liquid money? If we are talking about types of money, then the most liquid money is M1 because maximum instruments under the M1 can be converted into cash very easily. That's why it is the most liquid money. So answer of this question is A. Now we are moving to the question of the day. Again, very simple question. In India, mutual funds are regulated by which organization? Very simple question. You can answer very easily and I'm waiting your answer. You have to answer me only in the comment box. I'm waiting your answer. Please like this video. Please share this video as maximum as possible and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform and share at least to your one friend. And press this bell button and join our Telegram group from the description box link for future notifications, and it is Affairs Club promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section definitely. And don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy like this smiley. Thank you guys. Take care and bye-bye.